Right. So good noon, everyone. Welcome to Nifty Bank Nifty live analysis. Now, yesterday we basically saw a good reversal coming in on Nifty and Bank Nifty for the expiry, and we were not expecting this kind of reversal all the way to the top. The agenda was the yesterday's commentary where the prices might come back down, he might go up over here, and then again reverse on the downside. But we can see over here, if you check on 5-minute chart, there was no point of reversal. There was no red candle over here, which basically does not give us any trade opportunity for the downside. And more so, if you actually try to see, he went up, but he never went and made either a double top kind of stuff or maybe kind of sign of consolidation for the breakdown. So that's where you have to be a little cautious. We have to also understand the candle pattern and the structure before taking the trade. And more importantly, one should know what is the stop loss before entering the trade. So without stop loss, if you're trying to trade, it will become a kind of backfire at you and will cost you for the loss. Now, after being on an up move and kind of giving a strong strength on the upside, plus we can see almost hovering back to the resistance zone, we can clearly understand that here it should have opened gap up and filled this gap. So that was a good strength which came in, but because of the global markets, again market is opening gap down. And the most important part over here, when the market were opening gap down, was the prior zone of supports. These are the prior zones of support, which is the green boxes, both the ends over here. That is very, very important. Now, when it opens over here, it's not breaching the box. So if you try to see over here, it came back down, tried to move up, again came back down, made a new low at this particular point right over here. And more importantly, we can say, apart from the new low into the making, it also basically showed there was a green box in that same area, and that's where the bounce came in. But more importantly, even after the bounce coming in over here, this is kind of huge selling pressure at the higher end, which again kind of came into play, and you had the downfall coming once again. So one thing is very, very clear that okay, fine, the above yesterday's good support zone, and I had told you in the market commentary yesterday also, this zone is a good support zone, and then market opening here, and then this support zone is now kind of acting like the resistance zone for Nifty. So there is no upside in Nifty even on positional basis. If Nifty does not cross 16,300 or so, or 350 or so, there is no upside on Nifty. More so, you can see downside coming in Nifty trying to inch towards 16,000. Obviously, it depends on US markets, and if they also crack down, FOMC is coming up, and if it opens gap down further, reaching to 16,000 is way more likely rather than zooming up. Now, upside is only and only after 16,330 or 350 kind of zone. सो निफ्टी के लिए काफी अच्छा रेजिस्टेंस है अपर साइड में, और इस वजह से रेजिस्टेंस होने के कारण आप सेलिंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज ढूंढ सकते हो, और मोर लेस अपसाइड मूव निफ्टी में तभी आएगा अगर ये 16,300 16,300 और 350 का जोन सस्टेन करता है, तो ही अपसाइड आने के चांसेस है. वेल, फॉर इंट्राडे पर्पस, let us try to understand. He tried to move up, again he came back down, he's trying to revive back on the upside. Now if I try to see on broader time frame, let's say on 15-minute chart, just to understand where were important supports prior. So there we can see that there is a good support which was there prior, the gap zone, and we can see there is some level called as DATR which is also there. So this gives me some kind of confidence that we can start looking for reversal opportunity in Nifty. Okay, so we can look for reversal opportunity in Nifty, as this is forming a strong support zone for Nifty. We'll also see the OI data. Now, if I see over here, it is already into that support zone trying to bounce back up. The problem with this upside would be all the buyers who pushed up once over here, second over here, they are all trapped now, and that's where the selling pressure will be a little bit high, even on this end, so to speak. So till here, selling pressure is very, very high on Nifty as well, and it's not that easy for it to cross on the upside. So Nifty में एक अच्छा resistance रहेगा. अगर वो ऊपर आने की कोशिश भी करेगा तो यहाँ से सेलिंग प्रेशर फिर से आ जाएगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पे बायर्स फंसे हुए हैं, बिकॉज ही बाइंग यहाँ पे 2 बार आई हुई है और यहाँ पे बायर फंसे हुए हैं, तो ये पर्टिकुलर जोन सेलिंग प्रेशर विल बी मच मच हायर. वेल, All we have to focus over here, if I'm looking for a buy trade, what I exactly want, that it should go down, make a new low over here, and then try to revive for the buy trade. Otherwise, I'm not interested to go for buy trade on Nifty. So 16,200 is a good zone where we can look for a new low getting into the making, and then start looking for reversal bet in the afternoon for the upside. So maybe after 1 o'clock, once it forms a new low formation over here, and then we start looking for kind of W formation getting into complete, and right at the bottom with a small stop loss, you can take the trade, because then from 16,200, it can rise all the way up towards 16,275 or so. So that can be a good risk reward trade. Even if a stop loss of 30 points, 20 points, you can get 60, 70 points on the upside. So that's where we should start looking out for trading opportunities. Other way around, let's say market does not go down, okay, it kind of consolidates over here, and he tries to again revive back up, and then he tries to go back up, I would try to look for again selling opportunity on the downside. Why? Because upper zone, I have already told you, selling is there. Plus we can see here also selling is there, here also selling is there. Yesterday buyers, they are acting like sellers. So once he tries to move up as well, we will start looking for selling opportunity on the downside. But try to look at selling opportunity on the higher zone. So let him cross up, let him make M formation at the top, and then try to go for the sell trade from the higher side, not in the middle. Okay, somewhere over here trying to sell will be a trap. So let him either come on the upside, making new high towards the morning high zone, or making new low, making lows towards 16,200, and then you're looking out for reversal. So these will be the two zones which we will track out for. And if anywhere we kind of form the formations of our structures with candle patterns, then we would like to go in for the trade. Now, apart from this, let's also try to see on smaller time frame the OI data. Now we have understood the zones. We have understood that the buyers and sellers where they are. Now let's try to understand. If I try to see the OI data, so market is trading somewhere around 16,240 or so. And let's see what the OI data has to suggest. So 16 June, next week, new expiry, 16,300, huge resistance zone. So this is very, very important. And we have marked 16,300 as the red box already. So that is perfect. Now, if you try to see the support, there is no support, but at least 28,000 contracts are there at 16,200. So that is acting like at least a good amount of support, decent support at the lower end. If I try to see in last 2 hours, that has been a good addition over here. So that is nice, 8,000 to around 10,000 contracts, and last 1 hour, so 3,000 contracts are there. So there is a decent support, not a very strong support, but decent support around this 16,200 zone, which can be looked out for if we are trying to track or basically looking for reversal bet from this area. So 16,200, we can just drag it a little bit down. 16,000. Okay. So let it come back down all the way. And if it comes towards 16,200, makes kind of W formation with a new low sideways, then you start looking for the buy trade. Now let's try to see what's happening in Bank Nifty. And 16,300 is a strong support. So I would suggest to look for buy trade. आपको buy trade देखना है 16,200 के अराउंड. अगर वहां पे जाके वो W बनाता है और एक रिवर्सल स्ट्रक्चर देता है, तो आप वहां पे बाइंग अपॉर्चुनिटी ढूंढ सकते हो. So coming back to Bank Nifty. Now, Bank Nifty yesterday, we basically had the clear intention of from the 35,000 zone, it did came back down, and again he went up to 35,000 zone, he did come down, but then he did not go down. He again kind of reversed and zoomed at the top. So this was the expiry move which basically came. Now we were on the put side, but then it still went against us. So that's okay. Sometimes things do not move as per our expectation, but one thing was very, very important. If you remember in the commentary, I told you this is a very strong support zone. If it comes back down, this is where the support zone will be there, and that's exactly what happened. It basically took reversal around that zone and zoomed up. Now this support zone, the same way how I explained for Nifty, will act like resistance zone for tomorrow. And that's why if you see today, when the market opens gap down straight below this important support zone and the zoom up zone, the two attempts made on the upside were basically taken out and sharp selling came in. Now, after this sharp selling, he tried to revive up. If you try to see one time, two time, three time, four time, but he's unable to do so. That means there is one more round of selling zone exactly in this area. So there is a strong selling which is there in this area. It comes back down, it tries to revive back up, sharp selling coming back down over here. So that is very, very important to understand that 34,000, maybe around 700, so to speak, 34,700 is a very strong resistance zone. So 700 to maybe 750, this zone will be a very strong resistance zone in coming days. So if Bank Nifty has to make new high or Bank Nifty has to basically move on the upside before taking this zone out, it is not possible. So Bank Nifty को अगर नया high बनाता है, bullish होना है, तो 34,700 से लेके 34,800 के ऊपर अगर sustain नहीं करता है, there is no upside in Bank Nifty and we can have one more round of downside, which is quite possible. Right. So second point over here, let's see on the broader time frame. Is there any good amount of support at the lower end? So yesterday also we had seen there is good decent support at every interval over here. Okay, so this entire zone, if the Bank Nifty now cracks down, okay, this is entering into a very strong support zone. So this is very, very important to understand or remember that this zone, now when we are getting into it, it is a very strong support zone. So let's mark two zones, one and two, one second one over here. These two zones will be very, very important. Here, so one thing is now very, very clear at this point over here. Good selling, trying to go up, again selling, trying to go up, again selling can come through. But this is the zone where we have to look for buying opportunity. Now, more importantly, if you can see over here, 34,500 is a strong put option also being placed over here. So that is where you will get good support around this area too. So this is very, very important to get ourselves aligned. And let's try to see on 3 minute the OI data. Does it also present a good starting point for reversal or not around this area or so? So 34,500 राउंड नंबर प्लस पुट ऑप्शन है वहां पे सपोर्ट के लिए, तो वहां पे एक सपोर्ट का काम कर सकता है बैंक निफ्टी और वहीं पे अपन रिवर्सल के लिए देख सकते हैं. बट चांसेस ऑफ रिवर्सल डिपेंड करेगा कितना ओआई है. और 34,800 पे मोर और लेस 38,000 कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स है, विच इज नॉट बैड. तो वो अच्छी पॉइंट हो गई. और दूसरा somewhere around 5,000, so ज्यादा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स नहीं है at this support of 34,500. So it can come back down in this zone. Prior technical support zone plus the OI zone is there. So what we can look out for is if it cracks further down, it will go down because all these same stuff, the sellers are very, very strong. He tries to revive back up. Again, he's trying to push it down. But one thing is very, very important. If it goes down over here, tries to make kind of double bump, making a new low or same low, making W kind of format, and then you can start looking for the buy trade in Bank Nifty as well. So Nifty, Bank Nifty, we can look for buy trade at the below support zones. Now, the global markets are not that negative, but at least they are 0.25% down kind of stuff. So kind of stable to down, but not positive. So if the global market turns positive and if we get W formation at the bottom at important structure of support through OI plus through technical zone, both are suggesting strong support for Bank Nifty around 34,400 to 500 zone, this particular zone. So we can then start looking for buy trade in Bank Nifty. So that is very, very important to understand. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for joining in. Have a great weekend. Do like, share, and comment, and also make sure you share it with your friends and colleagues. Till then, meet you again on Monday. Till then, happy trading.